Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another Walking Dead character video. Today we're going to be looking at Ryan Samuels, the father to Lizzie and Mika Samuels. Ryan is of course male, he is played by Victor McKay. He is late 30s to early 40s and first appeared in 30 Days Without an Accident. Before the outbreak he lived in Jackson, Florida, and he met Mrs. Samuels, who he of course married, and with her had two daughters, Lizzie and Mika. When the outbreak began, his wife unfortunately died. It's unsure if she died before the outbreak, but I'm venturing to guess that she was killed by walkers or something. Ryan survived with his daughters, and at some point after the season 3 finale, he found and joined the prison community along with his children. He seemed to also have a strong friendship with Carol and seemed to also be involved in this story time with children. In season 4, Ryan is first seen in the library listening to Carol read a story to the children, including his two daughters. He clearly gets bored, or he has something else to do, because he waves to Carol and leaves the library. That night, D-Block is attacked, and in the morning, Ryan sends his daughters to safety whilst he is attacked by a zombie. At some point during the attack, Ryan was bitten on the nape, although he didn't feel it. We see him in the background here getting attacked by this female walker, and he seems to tussle with her for a while all the commotion goes on behind him, and eventually the walker grabs his arm and bites it, and obviously he's bitten by the walker on his arm. Glenn suddenly comes to his rescue and kills the zombie, but Ryan is in a lot of pain. Carol grabs Ryan and helps him into a cell, and he slumps onto the bed and inspects the bite on his arm. Carol tells him she's going to have to amputate it and begins to tie a belt around his arm, and she tells him to bite down on a rag and leans in to begin the amputation. But she sees and notices the bite on the neck nape. Presumably Carol tells Ryan this and begins to take off the belt. He asks if it's happening, referring to him turning, but she tells Ryan he's in shock. Ryan brings up his daughters, saying he knows Carol cares for them and asks her to look out after them like they're hers. Carol says she will, and Ryan cries, but Carol stops him, saying he's going to have to let them say goodbye to him. Moments later, Carol leaves and returns with Lizzie and Mika. Mika calls out for her father and asks for Dr. S, but Carol says it won't help. Ryan tells Lizzie to take care of her sister, and with that, he takes his final breath and dies, killed from the infection. I'd show a clip, but it's kind of uneventful. Later, Ryan is put down before he can turn by Carol. He is then buried within the prison grounds. R.I.P. Ryan Samuels. Ryan was a cool dude, not much more I can say really, because they didn't really do much with his character. He's really just there to set up Lizzie and Mika's characters, but for the little screen time he has, I really liked what they did with him. I think his death scene with him and his daughters is really well acted and emotional, although most of that praise goes on the young actresses for Lizzie and Mika. You could also argue that Ryan is the TV show parallel to Alan from the comics. I know a character called Alan does appear in season 3, but he really isn't Alan from the comics whatsoever. Ryan fits him much more better. He dies shortly before having an attempted amputation, and he has two young daughters that are adopted that later, Lizzie and Mika turn into Ben and Billy from the comics. So, yeah, I think Ryan fits Alan better than anyone else, including season 3 Alan. So that's cool. Anyway, tell me your thoughts on Ryan Samuels, and I'll see you in the next video. Let's spin that wheel, though, to see who we're going to do when we come back to the wheel, which I think will be next episode. Let's pick a character. The next character we're doing is Kurt from the Kingdom.